Hi there, it is Ed, and welcome to episode 17 of the classic traveler adventures of Anselm the Scout and his traveling companion, Hormoz. Last time, as you recall, Anselm had decided he had learned all he could from doing some research at the Scout-based computer, and the only way he was going to find out who was sending these threatening messages to Director Cavalon was to go to the naval base on Hesia Prime. So that's what he did. He and Anselm loaded up and headed down to the naval base. And what will they find when they arrive? This episode is going to take a little bit of explanation. Last time, you remember I got to the point where they were going to leave the scout base and head to Hesia Prime, and I said, I think that's all. Did that for a couple of reasons. First of all, I could see I was about at the 30-minute mark, and I try to keep these episodes kind of short, something you watch on your lunchtime. But also, I thought I had an event that I had to get ready for. It turned out that event happened a different day. So it was happening another day in the future. So I thought, well, I've already got everything set up and all the equipment's here and I'm rolling. I'll just keep going. I'll just cut off that ending and I'll edit it out and then I'll just continue on. So that's what I did. And after another 30 minutes or so, I had equipment failure. I think it may be an SD card got full or lost battery. Something happened. I don't know. All of a sudden I realized, wait, I'm not shooting video anymore. So that's what happened. So instead of dumping all that material that I had recorded, I saved it and I'm just going to stick it in this video. So here in a minute, you'll see a strange transition and I will go back to longer hair and I'll go back to the shirt I was wearing in the last episode. So that's why the abrupt change. You'll see everything I rolled after they went down to the planet. And then after that, sort of when that equipment failure happens, I'll come back as I am now, and finish out the episode. All right, so here we go.
The commander, David Jin, does say, yes, that's fine, send him down. We will let us know when he'll arrive. We will make sure everyone's ready. We will welcome this former scout to our base. So that's what we do. Anselm does go out to the Raven. Does he take Hormoz? I think he does take Hormoz. Hormoz is going to go with him. Maybe that's part of it as well. Maybe he has a protege. And that's part of his cover story, that he's bringing his protege to just sort of look around, see what he might want to go into. Because, as we said, Hormoz is 17, so he's had a chance to look at the scout base. Oh, maybe that's an even better cover story. He wants to see the scout base, but he also wants to show Hormoz to see if it's something he wants to get into. So, yeah, that's part of the story as well. Hormoz is like, yeah, oh, this is like me being a real spy. This is great. I'll be. Should I have a code name or like a? Anselm's no. Just call you're Hormoz. Let's keep calling you Hormoz. You'll be fine. Okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, so they do get in the Raven and they head out down to the base on Hesia Prime. I think that's the end of our scene. We're going to update our lists. There's no new characters really. No new threads. I'm going to change the chaos factor down to 5 because I feel like everything went pretty straightforward in that scene. And now our expected scene, a lot of times I realize I forget the test the expected scene to make sure you actually have that happen. So when you're playing your own Mythic games, don't be like Ed. Generally a good rule in every aspect of your life. But specifically when you're doing your Mythic adventures. Anyway, we're going to test. So my expected scene is that Anselm does head down in the Raven, heading to the scout base. And that's what happens. He just gets there. Is that what happens? So let's roll a d10 and reroll a 7. It's over our chaos factor. So yes, that is exactly what happens. Nothing changes that. He does come winging in on the Raven. He gets the clearance. He finds out exactly where to land. He does land. And as he disembarks, getting out of the Raven, he is met by David Jin, who is the commander. He says, well, Anselm, I'm very glad that you are here and your young protege, Hormoz, are more than welcome to ask any questions or look around a little bit. I must tell you this is a bit irregular. If it was not for coming from Director Cavalon, I'm not sure I would have agreed to this, but because of your sterling reputation and your exemplary record in the Scout Service, and if we can encourage young Hormoz here to be part of the Imperial Service, then of course I believe we should foster that desire. And Anselm's like, yes, I agree. I feel exactly the same way. I'm glad you feel that way, Commander. We will not be in your way. We will try to make ourselves as unobtrusive as possible. If you don't mind, I know there are probably some parts of the base that, for security reasons, we can't go. But if I could take Hormoz around and let him talk to the people here, find out their impressions of being in the Navy, and give him an idea of how the base works, what the different jobs are that are available, the things that he might want to do as he goes further. And Hormoz's like, yeah, that'd be great. Can I see the spaceships? Can we look at spaceships? I mean, the one we've got is really cool, but if I could see some of the other ones and find out other things, that would be totally just like us talking to people and not weird at all. And someone gives Hormoz a little bit of a look. Yes, it would just be, again, expanding Hormoz's possibilities, the things he might be interested in. And Commander Jin says, yeah, of course, yeah. Please make yourself at home. We will assign you some quarters while you're here. How long do you think you will be here, Anselm? Anselm says, I don't foresee being here more than 3 days at the most. David Jin says, yes, fine, good to hear. Well, please feel free to, again, within the bounds of security, please feel free to make yourself at home, find out what we have. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with me. Good day. And he turns around and walks off. All right, so Anselm and Hormoz now have a little bit of a opportunity to go around and talk to people and to do a little bit of snooping. Are any of the other people here as they land? So we could have any of these. I'm going to roll to see. This is going to be a mythic question. Are any of the other crew here, any of the other people with the base? I'm going to say that's likely. So we are, again, chaos factor 5. That's a 65% chance, or yes, 65% chance or less that, yes, some of the other crew are around. 66, no. No, they are not. And doubles, but it's over our chaos factor, so we don't have a random event. So nobody else is here except for Hormoz, Commander Jin, and Anselm. So Anselm is going to go possibly, he goes to the mess hall. I can see that being a totally appropriate thing to do after they've come down on a ship when you land. First thing you do after you travel, you want to get something to eat, right? You're starving. So that's what they do. They go to the mess hall, and as they arrive, are there people in the mess hall? Let's find out. I'm going to say that's likely. There'd be somebody in there. No, nobody in the mess hall. Nobody there. It is just the two of them. I'm going to say that this is all automated. This is Star Trek replicators. They do say to the computer, this is what we want. They give them a glass of, speaking of, a glass of tea. Let me have a drink. Or potentially something else, a little snack for them. They eat that up. And Anselm and Hormoz sort of put their heads together a little conspiratorially. And Anselm says, all right, Hormoz, we're looking for who maybe sent these messages, and specifically for who, I think. What is the organization that's behind this? Because I kind of feel like whoever's sending the messages is working for somebody larger. And Anselm's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that's a probably good idea. You're really good at this. And Anselm's like, I'm just trying to follow the paths wherever they may lead. Now we know that that Gabriel Min has potentially friends on Fillmore. He has a little financial difficulties, so he has potentially a reason why he should, or potentially he might have some reason why he might be working for somebody like that, or actually working to get his friend off of Vilmork. Maybe we should raise a mechanic. Maybe we should go into the garage, see if we can find him, and just kind of casually ask around and see what he can tell us. And Hormoz's like, yeah, that's good. We should do that. That's a really good idea. And they do. They go around looking for the mechanic. It doesn't take long that they do find the place where the mechanics would be. So there is the hangar where the naval ships are. There are the the machine shop and a few places like that. Again, kind of a small base, but enough where they could do what they need to do. And they're going to try to find Gabriel Mim. First of all, do they find him there? I'm going to say it is very likely. 75% chance or less that, yes, he is there. And a 70, yes, he is there. Is there anybody else here with him? I'm just going to say that's 50% chance. That, no, nobody else. It is just Gabriel Mim. Anselm does go in, introduces himself to Gabriel Mim, introduces Hormoz, and sort of explains why they're there and what they're doing. Gabriel's like, yeah, I remember hearing about you guys going to be here. What is his, let's roll randomly, what is his attitude? Might be a good idea to sort of know what is his feeling about Anselm and Hormoz being here. So we have his actions, have his appearance, personality, motivations, identity, descriptors. Descriptors would be what we want. So what are the descriptors for Gabriel Mem, first of all? He is 17. He is bleak. Oh my. Poor bleak Gabriel. And he is 98. Bleak and wealthy, but he has financial problems. Okay, I kind of feel like maybe he's wealthy, but he has financial problems. So he is the son of a wealthy imperial merchant who has been disowned. He has been kicked out of the family. He has been shunned from the family. He has, maybe it's because of the friends that the company he kept. Maybe he has been kicked out of the family. He is bleak now, because he doesn't see how he's going to change things. And he's got financial difficulties. So that's what's happened. So yeah, he is, make a note of this. So Gabriel Mem. Bleak and wealthy. Yeah, he's been disowned by his family. So yeah, he is not a happy guy, and he has racked up quite a bit of debt, which maybe wouldn't be one reason he might be a target for people trying to do nefarious things with some of the prisoners being moved around in Vilmore. So they go up to him. Gabriel says, "Let me make a note of this as well." He says, "Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I heard about you guys coming here to do a little bit of looking around to tell this young fellow what's available for a career, say, in the Navy, such as it is." And Edsel says, "So, what sort of things? What led you here? How did you decide to become a mechanic in the Navy? Tell me your background. Tell me your story a little bit there, Gabriel." Gabriel kind of sighs, looks down, puts maybe his left-handed semiphalange down. Says, "Well, it's not much to tell, really. I found myself in a bit of a predicament. Some of the opportunities I thought might be coming my way as a young fellow didn't materialize, to put it mildly. And well, I thought maybe getting into the Navy would be a good idea." And so says, "Okay, so you felt like this was a way to get away from some of the to give yourselves more opportunity, perhaps." And Gabriel says, "Well, yeah, perhaps it's just say I was keeping some bad company who maybe if I'd stayed with them I would have gone down a different road. So, but yeah, it's been all right. Maybe this will lead me to something. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, was it a good idea to be a part of this anyway?" He says, "Well, tell me more about. Do you have any? You said you're around, but what kind of people were you around?" This is going to be a question. Will he be able to convince Gabriel to talk about the people? All right. Let's see. He is going to... What would that be a role? I feel like that would be kind of a social standing role. Anselm only has a 6, which is a 0. But I'm going to roll that. I'm going to see, can he kind of convince him to give him a little more... to give Gabriel, give Anselm a little more information. I'm going to say that's going to be kind of tough, though. I'm going to say that's going to be a 10 or more to get him to open up, because he doesn't really know Anselm. And that's going to be an 8. No, so he doesn't. He goes, "Well, just suffice to say, some not some great, maybe some great colleagues around. So getting away from them, I think, was possibly a good idea. Listen, I'd love to talk to you guys some more. Please feel to look around the mechanic shop and the hangar. I really need to get back to this." And so he turns around and starts working again. And Anselm and Hormoz do say, thank you very much for your time. We may have more questions later, but appreciate you talking to us. We're just going to sort of look around, if you don't mind. We're just going to check things out. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Feel free. They're going to look around. Now, what they're going to do, they're looking around sort of in the hangar, is do they find anything? Are they able to find anything like, I don't know, like in a mechanic's toolbox? Do they find a piece of evidence? Or do they find something that, I don't know right now. That's why it's a discovery check, because we don't know. So let's see. Again, that is a skill roll, or a roll to see if they find anything. I'm going to say that's nothing. Again, that's not a skill that Anselm has. I'm going to use Jack of all trades, which is a 0. So we're going to say, as they're sort of searching around, is he able to, you know what I'm going to say, is he able to use his, almost like a sleight of hand, to go through the, like the lockers? Yeah, let's say there's lockers. So search way to sort of search the lockers and not be obvious about it. I'm going to say, again, that's kind of tough. So we're going to say that's going to be a 10 or more. Can he do that? And I'm just going to say that's going to be a 0, so 10 or more. No, he cannot. As he looks around, Gabriel says, excuse me, that's personal effects. I don't think you need to be looking through there. I think everything you want to see would be out this way. Okay. And that's, of course, sorry, we were just a little curious. We weren't sure. We're going to go check out another section. So they do go out trying to find somebody else. Let's see. They've already found Gabriel. Didn't really get a whole lot more about him. Maybe they should go to Devon Pecan, the other mechanic, and see if they can find out anything from him, to question him. Or maybe search... Oh, you know, maybe they should go search on the computers here at the base. That might be a better thing to do. That might be also easier to do and not... rouse any suspicions or anything. So I think that's what he's going to do. So he does find sort of a data bank. Is the comms officer in this area? Let's find out. I'm going to say that it would be likely. So with our fate chart, I'm actually also going to say, would that be a new scene? That's the kind of thing sometimes that I have a hard time deciding. So is that a new scene? I feel like it is. I feel like it was the end of one scene to leave Gabriel. They're going to go to another scene to check out the computer. So I'm just going to call that a new scene. So we do go, I'm going to keep the chaos factor. Actually, chaos factor is going to go up, because that was not very helpful for Anselm or Hormoz. So the chaos factor goes back to 6. And they do head towards the information center of this area. So we'll go back to 6. We're going to see, is the comms officer there? I'm going to say it's likely. So that's 75 or less. And with a 09, definitely. I'm going to say not only is the comms officer there, but I'm going to say that our somebody else is there with him. Who would that be? Potentially the medical guy. I'm just going to roll with everybody we have, not counting Gabriel Mem. So who do we have? Let's see. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be Gabriel Mem. He's not there. So going to the next person would be the comms officer. Past that would be the medical guy, the corpsman. So yeah, that is who's there. So Gabriel Copeland, the medical guy, is also there with the comms guy. And I'm going to say just... Well, no, I need to roll to see if this is something. Are they talking together about something that they quickly stop in sort of a suspicious manner when Anselm arrives? I'm going to say that's 50-50. We'll see. 65% chance or less. Yes, they are talking about something when you're 44. Yes, they are. So they do are quickly stopping what they're talking about in hushed tones, and we have a random event. So let's find that out. First of all, let's see. What would we say? Would that be a mystery descriptor? Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be a mystery, a discovery check, I should say. So my question is, does Anselm hear the snippet of anything that might be a clue? Does he hear anything that might be a clue? So I'm going to say that's unlikely. Unlikely. I'm going to unlikely is my gut reaction. So that's 50% chance less of a yes. And 04, exceptional yes. Not just a yes, but an exceptional yes. And when you roll exceptional yes, that means, let me find what it says. Exceptional yes rolls twice on the mystery elements table. Yeah. So yes, we are rolling mystery elements table. And you know, something I forgot to do, every time you roll on the table, you're supposed to add a progress point, which adds to your roll. So we're going to add a roll of 1, or we add a 1 to our progress points. And he gets to roll twice. We only add 1 point. I'll go ahead and roll another point here. Actually, no. Let me take a step back. I'm going to roll first, then I'll add another point. So on our mystery elements table, this could potentially be a clue. What do we get? What do you get? So add 1 to this roll. 7 plus 1 is 8. That is a new linked clue. A new linked clue. Now, it's probably going to be one of the two of them, but let's see. What is the new linked clue? Let's go to the descriptor table of clues. That is 54 is luxury. Okay, interesting. With one of them, somebody getting Copeland getting a luxury, valuable piece of art, valuable sculpture. Luxury 17 again. Colorful. Luxury and colorful. Luxury and colorful. Okay. I'm going to say as he walks in, yes. Matter of fact, it is Copeland and Lemas talking. And yeah, I'm going to say it's actually Copeland is talking to Lemas saying, hey, I got the thing. Because it's luxury and colorful, I'm going to say it's a statue. It is a luxurious, colorful statue that Copeland is talking about to Hayden Lemas, that yes, he has it, leading Anselm to believe that Copeland got it and is selling it to Hayden Lemas, the comms officer. So Copeland received it, but he is now trying to pass it on to Hayden Lemas, either for money or for we don't know. But yeah, he does get that sort of little tidbit as he hears it. So that's another clue. That's going to be a new clue. So we're going to say Copeland got art for Lemas. And I'm going to say that, who does that go for though? I'm just going to roll. It's going to be 1 to 2 is... No, well, who does it make more sense to go for? Normally I'd roll, but I'm just going to say this would go for... I'm going to say that goes to Copeland, I feel like. I feel like that's a clue in Copeland, because maybe he's got this, but now he is passing it on to the comms officer, which would make sense. The comms officer would definitely know how to send the communication, but maybe they are not doing it for themselves. They are being bribed by Copeland. I think that's what it is. So we're going to link that to Copeland. So now Copeland goes up. Gabriel Copeland goes up to 2 clue points. Remember, if I get a clincher clue or if I get any one of the suspects get 6 clue points, they are the person we're looking for. All right. So again, we rolled exception yes, so we get to roll again on the mystery elements table. Again, not adding any more progress points. We've already added that, but let's see. We roll again. A 5 plus 1 is going to be a 6. And a 6 for that is also going to be a new linked clue. So let's find out what is that clue. Again, using my so many pieces of paper. All right. What is this clue that we get? So that's a 58. That is mechanical. And 94, mechanical vehicle. Mechanical vehicle. So it's a clue. It is a mechanical vehicle. And we find it for hearing the two of them talking. Okay, I'm going to say that okay, so this is what happens. Anselm hears them talking about Copeland saying, hey, I've got a really nice sculpture, you know, that gorgeous thing. Yeah, I got it. And I'm going to put it, there's a spot. He's going to put it in mechanical vehicle. I'm going to say he's going to leave it in there's probably some way they can travel around close by the base. You know what I mean? There's probably some sort of vehicle, a utility vehicle they can get around. And he's saying, that's when he's going to hide it. He's going to put it in this place for Lemas to get it later. So like he's like, look, I got the statue. I'm going to stick it in, I'm going to stick it in the rover in the back where nobody's going to notice it, in the utility section. So that's where it's going to be. Yeah. So again, let's see. I'm going to put down, so they hiding the statue. Hiding statue. Okay. Who is that going for? That could be either Lemas or Copeland, I feel like. Again, this time I'm going to roll a d6. 1 to 3 is Lemas, and 4 to 6 is going to be Copeland. Let's see, what do we get there? A 6. So that goes again to Copeland. Copeland now has 3 clue points. So that goes up to Copeland. All right. So he's up to 3. Okay. As Anselm and Hormoz walks in, they do both Copeland and Lemas stand up quickly. Very startled. And Anselm says, I apologize. Didn't mean to startle you all. I'm sure you've heard. I'm Anselm, a former scout with my protege Hormoz. We were just looking around to seeing what kind of jobs are available in the Navy. He sort of tells them the whole story about so-and-so. And Yeah, Hayden says... Oh, yeah, let's go ahead also while I'm thinking about this. Let me roll the descriptors of these two guys. So that will be what we do. What are the descriptors of Hayden and what is the descriptor of Copeland? So first of all, their appearance. Their appearance. Or maybe their personality? I said descriptors. Let's do descriptors. That's what I did before for Gabriel Mem. Let's do it this sort of descriptors. So first we're going to do Hayden. 43. That is going to be, he is disagreeable. This is going to be great. Disagreeable. 59. Disagreeable and ignorant. What a lovely combination to find. Alright, so Hayden Lamas is disagreeable and ignorant. And what about Gabriel Copeland? What can we find out about him? He is 52. That is frightened. Okay, interesting. And frightened and... Ooh, a 57. He's frightened and humorous. Alright. Alright, he's frightened and he's humorous. So he's using his humor to deflect the things that are making him frightened. That's kind of how I see that. He is trying to... cover up his frightened state with humor. That's something that people try to do, right? And then Hayden's just ignorant and disagreeable. So, as they come in, Anselm does say, sorry to interrupt you, this is why I'm here. Hayden Lamas says, yeah, I heard. Just try not to touch anything. Stay out of the way. Make sure, that there's nothing that's... Just don't mess with anything, okay? And... Gabriel Copeland is like, hey, there, Anselm. Heard about you. Very glad you're here. Hormoz, are you sure you want to be in the Navy? Someday you could be an exotic locales just like this. And he sort of gestures grandly around there. His chance to be a little ironic and humorous. Anselm says, no, that's fine. Again, we're trying not to get in everybody's way. We're trying to be very unobtrusive. Just trying to give Hormoz an idea of what he might be able to find. Do you guys mind if we kind of maybe ask you a couple of questions and look around and just sort of see maybe what kind of thing you guys do here? And Hayden's like, yeah, if you have to, fine. We were told by the commander we should afford you, what did he say? Afford you every courtesy? So yeah, sure. Love to. And Gabriel Copeland's like, I will tell you everything I would like to know. And he's, being the medical guy, he's like, sure, what do you want to know about medicine? I can help you out. I don't know why I do this. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. He says to Hayden Lamas, he says, so you are in contact with, of course, the people who work here as the base, but you also have contact to the larger sector, right? Do you send a lot of messages out to, like, the scout base and things like that? Does he, or is he going to admit that he does? Let's see. Chaos factor of 6, it means, I guess he probably would. He would say yes. 97, he denies everything. He is disagreeable. He is going to be Mr. Vague, I can see that. He's like, I run the comms. I take care of communication and a lot of the tech stuff. So, yeah, that's what I do. I'm the comms guy. Sorry, I kind of figured that was sort of obvious. Do I not have this kind of stuff in the scouts? Yeah, maybe you don't want to be part of the scouts there, whatever your name is. He says, so, Anselm's like, and you would, okay, what would he ask next? Let's see. I kind of feel like maybe next he would say, can you kind of show us sort of what you do? Let's say you were going to send a message to the scout base. Can you kind of show us how would you do that? As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to check in with Director Calphalon. Can you make that happen for me? With a large sigh and a lot of rolling of eyes, Hayden Lamas just sit down and goes through the process of what's going on. And as that's happening, Anselm says, Hormoz, you probably want to ask some questions to find out exactly what's happening. And Hormoz is like, yeah, so, what's happening? Anselm gives him a bit of a look. Maybe a more specific question, like, how does he get a message to the scout base? Yeah, how do you get the message to the scout base? How does that work? I don't know how this works. And, again, with a big sigh, well, first of all, he sort of shows him how he dials in the frequency. The base has a certain, frequency. There's a way he sends a message. He has to turn the big radar dish around. He has to make sure it's, tuned right and angled right and the whole thing. Anselm says, so any message that you sent, they would know it's coming from you. Is there a way to maybe, I don't know, if somebody wanted to send a message and not have it be obvious where it's coming, is there a way to sort of mask who's sending the message? Is there a way to send a secret message or something like that? Is Hayden going to tell him? Let's find out. I'm going to say again, this is unlikely because Hayden is disagreeable. So I'm going to say it's unlikely 50. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's a 35% chance or less that yes, he'll tell him. Let's see. Does he say anything about that? No. And we got doubles, but again, overcast factor, so no random event. Actually, I had a random event earlier, didn't I? I didn't. I think I skipped it. Anyway, yes, no random event. So he's like, well, I mean, you just send a message. This is how you do it. You ask how I'm going to do it. This is how I do it. You're going to watch, you're going to talk. And so they do watch what's happening. And I'm going to say that after he does that, he leaves. I'm going to say that Hayden's like, well, I have to take a bit of a break right now. You guys have a good time. Copeland, I'll talk to you later about the other stuff. Copeland's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, fine. I'm going to say Copeland does leave, and Hayden goes to another part. And while they're there, he's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to just look at this console. Sort of, it's a little similar to what we had in the Scouts. Of course, ours was not as sophisticated as this. Just sort of show Hormoz kind of how things are happening. And Hayden's like, fine, just don't change any of my settings. If you just don't mess anything up that I have to fix later. Oh, no, of course not. Okay, so we're going to say, does he find anything here? Again, I don't know what I'm looking for, so does he find a log? Does he find a setting of something where... Oh! So they would have a log of sending out messages, but they would also have a log of receiving messages. So I'm going to say, does he find a log of maybe receiving a message that would come from a unregistered person or somebody who would be a little shady, something like that? That's something. So would he be able to find that? I'm going to say, again, that's computer use, which he does not have. I'm going to say that's going to be... I'm just going to say that's going to be 8 or more, though. So does he find something like that? Let's see. That's going to be a 7. No, he does not. He finds no log of receiving messages that were weird or from a strange organization. Let's see. Does he find logs of somebody sending a message from the space at one of the times when Dr. Cavalon has received one of those threatening messages? Because I feel like she would have said, maybe Anselm has a list of when those messages were received. So is there a log of one of these messages being sent out at that time? And does he find that? Again, I'm going to say that's an 8 or more. And a 10, yes, he does find. Does he find anything? Now, again, the way we're supposed to do it. Does he find anything? That's the question. I'm going to say that is actually likely, which is a 75% chance or less that, yes, he does find something. So let's see. 04, exceptional yes. Exceptional yes. Is it? Yes, it is an exceptional yes. Yes. So yes, he gets to make 2 rolls on this. So I'm going to say the first one is probably that, yes, there is a timed message, or a message that was the time exactly when Dr. Cavalon received one. But I do need to roll on my clue. Actually, you know what? That should have been, that's an investigation roll because I knew what I was looking for. So that's an investigation roll. So yes, there is a message that went through at the time when Dr. Cavalon received one. So yes, trying to get this all in my brain. So let's go ahead and check here. So I'm going to say there is a message at time director received one. Yeah. And okay, so now let's see. I'm going to say, can he tell? Before it to be a clue, we need to see who sent that message. Does it say who sent that message? I'm going to say that's 50-50. Let's see. Is that 50-50? That's going to be 05. Yes. That is also an exceptional yes. Yeah, it actually has their name. I'm just going to roll randomly again, even because we are doing Mystery Matrix, even though normally I would just pick one. And I'm going to say it is number 2. It is Avery Fry, the pilot. All right, so we now have a clue that goes to Avery Fry, the pilot. That is their first clue. So Avery Fry sent a message at the same time to the scout base, the same time that Dr. Havilland received this message. All right, I think that may mean they need to go find Avery Fry. And I think they do. I think they get up and they thank Hayden and they thank Gabriel Copeland very much for going, and they're going to see if they can find Avery Fry. All right, so my expectation is that they're going to find Avery Fry, and I'm going to say there's probably a small pilot ready room, and that's where they're going to go. I'm going to say the cast factor has gone up a little bit, 7, because I don't feel like they really did well there, so I'm going to say the cast factor goes up to 7. Now we're going to see, our expected scene is they go looking for a ready room for the pilots, and they find it, and Avery Fry is there. That's my expected scene. Do we alter that expected scene? And with 3, yes we do. We have altered that scene. I always forget what does odd number mean, so let me see. Odd, the scene is altered. Okay? The scene is altered. So when they get there, they find the ready room, and when they go in, Avery Fry is not there, but Taraja is. She is there. And again, Anselm introduces himself, does the whole glad to meet you, my protege Hormoz, interested in joining the service. Can you tell us what you do? Let's roll some information about Tara here. Going back to the descriptor. How do we describe Tara here? Tara is 63. She is intelligent. Okay. Intelligent. And what's the other thing? She's intelligent. 93. You're only a little high. And sweet. She's intelligent and she's sweet. Alright, so she definitely is guilty as all get out. I'm kidding. Anyway, she is there, and they do enter. He introduces himself, introduces Hormoz, and I'm going to say she's very sweet. She's very bubbly, very gregarious. Runs up like, "Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, the commander told us you would be here. Oh, yes, anything." And she takes Hormoz by the hand and leads him over and sits him down at like this little couch thing they have. "What would you like to know? Any way I could help. I have to say that my time in the Navy has been so rewarding. I just really love being part of something bigger than myself, helping the Imperials. And you know, I know this. A lot of people would say this is not a great place to be stationed, but I just think it's great. I just feel like I'm contributing in my small way to helping everything else run. So, but what can I answer for you? What do you want to know? I just really love being a pilot, but there's so many opportunities in the Imperial Navy." Hormoz is a little tongue-tied, as you might imagine. She's very sweet. She's very gregarious. She's probably pretty young, so, you know, this is probably the first time a young lady has maybe been very pleasant to Hormoz. Hormoz is a little like, I'm really, I kind of like to be... Is this a time when these psychic powers are going to manifest out of his control? It would be kind of funny if it was. Let's see. I'm going to say it's 50-50. 65% chance or less that, yes, all of a sudden, Hormoz manifests the psychic power. 32. Yes, he does. As I said, I'm going to randomly because he is untrained, and I'm going to say he's a bit of a wild card. We're going to see what power randomly manifests for Hormoz. And this might make Tara a little less sweet because we know how the Imperials feel about psychics, or psionics. Psychic psionics. I want to use the correct term. It's psionics in the book. So let's see. Let's find the psionics. That is in the Traveler book, page 116. And we do have, somewhere on here, we have the table that lists the psionics. I think it's actually before all that. Yes, here we are, right. Here we are. Okay, that is on page 115. one page previous. So we have telepathy, clairvoyance, telekinesis, awareness, teleportation. Oh, teleportation. He just disappears. That'd be hilarious. Or special. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like it was meant to be. Let's roll a d6 and see what happens. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what of his psionic abilities just randomly manifests? 3, which is telekinesis. Telekinesis. Let's see. So that means he can move a certain amount of weight, either 1 gram all the way up to 100 kilograms. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 6 opportunity or 6 different options. So let's see which it is. It's going to be 3. So that is 100 grams. So not being up on the metric system, since I am an American, I'm having a hard time figuring out. So I know 100 grams is, if only I had access to some, I don't know, massive amount of knowledge from humankind. Let me do this.
And that is where I had the equipment failure. So we're going to continue on from there. Subsequently, after this happened, I did find out that a deck of playing cards is about 100 grams. So I'm going to say that's what happens. Hormoz is talking to Terra, and suddenly a pack of playing cards, or maybe not even the pack, individual cards start floating up as he's nervously talking to Terra, being around her. So does she notice that? That's going to be the thing. Going back, chaos factor is 7. So does she notice that? I'm going to say it's unlikely, but that still gives us a 65% chance or less that she does notice it. Let's find out. Does she notice it? 91. She does not. Luckily for Hormoz and Anselm, Terra does not notice this. So she is focused on Hormoz. She has it by the hand still. She's saying, yeah, please, whatever you'd like to know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have. So far I've found my career in the Navy being extremely rewarding. I don't want to give that opportunity to anyone else who might be considering a career in the Navy or really any other Imperial service. Hormoz is like, I was wondering, do you like being a pilot? And I think Terra said, I really enjoy being the pilot. There's nothing more to the freedom to fly around, the freedom just to be up there on your own, and to be able to contribute in some small way to the greater good of the entire Imperial region. So Terra is talking to Hormoz. Hormoz is extremely nervous, and he is asking very haltingly questions about being a pilot and what it's like to be in the Imperial Navy. And Terra's giving him this glowing recommendation of being in the Navy. But she says, but any other Imperial service you want to be in, I'm sure that, I just think that serving the larger Imperial space is just something noble that everyone should try. Hormoz's like, yeah, I think so too. I really agree with everything you're saying. I really want to, be a part of something bigger than myself. Anselm, watching this take place, I'm going to say while Hormoz is maybe got Terra distracted, he's going to look around the ready room. Does he find anything that looks like a clue? Now, that is going to be a discovery check. I don't know what he's looking for, so we're going to roll to see if he actually if he finds anything. So first of all, now before I did it as a sleight of hand roll using Traveler. And I don't know if I'm going to do that again, because I'm not sure it's going to be a sleight of hand roll. Is it going to be? But he's distracted. I'm going to say, yeah, let's make it a sleight of hand roll. So it's going to be a 2d6 using my new dice that I got at Gen Con before I did the last video. Anyway, so it's going to be 2d6. He's got a -1. I'm using the Cepheus -1 for his 4 dexterity, but she is distracted by Hormoz. So I'm going to say this is actually going to be a little bit easy. So a 6 or more, yes, he sort of is able to look around and he can check around without being too obvious, is what we're going to see. So can he do it? 6 more, yeah, just. No, -1, no, he does not. Oh, dear, it's a 5. So, no, he's not able to. He looks around a few times. He does check out a few things that are sitting there. Maybe there's a duffel bag. Maybe there's also some lockers where they put personal effects. And Terra does notice him. She notices him looking around. So he stops real quick and sort of goes back over. He's like, I'm just sort of curious what sort of things you guys do here. It's you, and I think Avery is a pilot as well. How does Avery feel? First of all, do you know where Avery is? Does Tara know where Avery is? That's going to be a 50-50 chance. I don't know. So that's with a chaos factor 7, 75% chance or less that yes, Avery knows. Nope, Avery has no idea. I don't know. I'm not sure where Avery is. Avery's not on duty right now. Did I say, is Avery a male or a female? I think Avery's a female. I think both of our pilots are female. So I don't know where she is right now. No, sorry. It's my turn to sort of be on call, as it were. We do take it in rotation to be available if something happens. Anselm says, so I noticed some of the ships. What kind of things do you fly around here? Do they fly fighters? I kind of feel like they don't. I feel like that's very unlikely, which is still a 50% chance or less. So do they have fighters here? No, they don't have fighters. So they have, like, I'm going to say it's more like transport things, maybe modular cutters, maybe transporting cargo. Actually, modular cutter would make sense because with those, you can outfit them for passengers or cargo or utility little not docking, but utility compartments. I think you know what I'm trying to say. But that's what they have. She's like, no, we don't do fighters. No, it's I guess maybe a little more mundane. We have mostly modular cutters. I can show you those if you want to see them. And Anselm's like, I think that would be great. Hormoz, how would you like to go check out some of the modular cutters? Yeah, that would be great. I would love to get on the ship with you. I mean, go see the ship with you. Go take a tour of one of the modular cutters. That's great. And I want to say that by this point, have the cards settled down at this point. Again, I'm going to say 50-50, so 75% chance or less that yes, the cards have, yes, they do. They have, when they started talking and Hormoz was able to focus more on Tara and calm down a little bit, yes, the cards slowly did go back down into a stack. So Anselm wipes the sweat from his brow, and I'm going to say that Tara does take them out to the hangar where there are a couple of modular cutters. They have some of the other units where they can replace what they're used for. She's showing Hormoz around. It's like, well, this is, where we put this, and we have our mechanics. Let me find their name again. We have Kia, and we have Devin, and we have Gabriel. Yeah, we have those guys. They will change these things out, sort of showing them the whole thing. While they're doing that, once again, Anselm is going to look around to see if he can find anything, and again, kind of be unobtrusive. So again, 6 or more with his -1. Can he do it? 8. This time he can. He does look around surreptitiously while Tara is showing Hormoz all the information or all the stuff about the modular cutters, and when they go into the cockpit and she's sort of showing him how they do the pre-flight check and the things like that, Anselm does have a chance to look around the hangar a little bit to see what he can find. Now, that is the question. So again, using the mystery matrix, we do have to ask now, does he find anything? I'm going to say, while he's looking around in the hangar, I'm going to say maybe it's not quite as obvious, but maybe. We still have a high chaos factor. I'm just still going to say it's 50-50 whether he finds anything. As I say, that's 75% chance or less that he finds something. And we get a 44. Yes, and we have a random event. Let me make a note of that because I keep forgetting. Earlier, I think in the last, the first chunk of this episode, I did do a random event. I rolled a random event, but then I forgot to roll what it is. So random event. We're going to hold on to that. First, we want to use the mystery matrix and see what Anselm finds. He does find something. So we roll on the mystery elements table. We get to add 2 because we rolled on there already. And this is going to be a D10 on the clues elements table. So what does he find? He finds a 5 plus 2 is 7. That is a new linked clue. Let us go to our mystery descriptor table of clues. And what is this new linked clue that he finds? All right. 31. And that is exotic. Ooh, something exotic. And 79. Exotic and quaint. Something that's exotic and quaint. Okay. And it is a clue. Exotic and quaint. I'm also, to clarify this a little bit more and give myself a little bit more information, I'm going to ask, where does he find this? Does he find this in the hangar, in the larger hangar, or does he find it on one of the modular cutters? So first of all, again, that's going to be 50-50, so again, 75% chance. Does he find it on But does he find it on the other modular cutter? Let's find out. 58. Yes. Yes, he does. He finds this on the other modular cutter. It is something that is exotic and quaint. Exotic and quaint. Exotic and quaint means to me that it is something somebody dropped. It is exotic and quaint. When first thing I heard quaint, I thought it's somebody's heirloom. It is something that belonged to somebody else and is exotic. Okay. Going with my first impression, I'm going to say that, yes, somebody did drop something. As Anselm is looking around, he goes on the other modular cutter, starts looking around, and he sees something shiny that catches his eye between where the cockpit of the modular cutter would be and the other, before they stick in the other units to make it cargo or transportation or whatever it might be. There's a little hallway, a little access hallway, and in there he sees something catches his eye, and he bends down and he picks it up. And it is a little, it's quaint, so it's very small. It looks kind of old-fashioned. And it is a small little badge, button, emblem, pin, something you'd wear. And my first thing is, it is a symbol that it is of the Psionic Institute. Somebody has dropped a Psionic Institute little badge or little button in this modular cutter. That is what he finds. Okay. That is his clue, Psionic Institute button. Let me go ahead and write that down on my mystery matrix. And let's see. I'm going to say he doesn't know who that clue is for yet. He finds it. He finds it on the modular cutter. He knows it's a Psionic Institute emblem. He knows better than to start showing it around everywhere, because that could put somebody in peril, or him in peril, because he's found it if somebody knows that he found it. So he's going to keep it. He's not sure who this belongs to, so that may take a little more investigation. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to take. So it's going to take some more investigation. He does meet up after he finds out. He pockets it. He does meet up with Hormoz and Tara. Tara is, again, espousing the joys and the benefits and the just wonderful time that Hormoz would have in the Imperial service. And Hormoz is thanking her. Anselm, thank you so much for bringing Hormoz. He is a delight. It is so wonderful. I would love to talk to you more, but unfortunately I do have to go and be there just in case we are called to DD. So, but if you have any more questions, please come by. I'm happy to talk to you. And so that's great. We'd also like to talk to Avery and get her impressions of here in the naval service. That would be great. I think that would be great for you guys to find out. Please talk to Avery, and I think getting as much information for Hormoz to make the best decision for him, I think that's a really good idea. And Tara says, bye, because she's very sweet, and she goes back. And I think that I'm actually going to call this the end of day one. I'm going to say that they do a little look around. I'll say they've been very busy. They did tell Commander Jen they'd be here for no more than 3 days. I'm going to say this is the end of day one. Just to wrap things up, I'm going to say they go back to the mess hall. Are there other people there? I'm going to say it's very little. Cringe of the day. Yes, somebody would be off their ship. I'm going to say it's very likely that somebody would be there. So that's 90% chance or less that somebody's there in the mess hall. 95, no. Nobody else. Nobody eats around here. Just Hormoz. And also, you know what? I forgot. I didn't roll my random event. I even wrote down I had a random event, and I did not do it. So let's go ahead and do that random event before we get through today. So first of all, our random event focus is going to be 36, which is an NPC action. Oh my. All right. What is this action? Let's find our meaning table's actions. So the action is 36 again. Wow. Distrust. Distrust. And 39. Wow. Distrust hindrance. All right. It's an NPC action, and the action is to distrust hindrance. To distrust hindrance. I'm going to say that somebody, the first thing that pops into my brain is that somebody does not believe Anselm and Hormoz's cover story. And I'm going to keep that a mystery from myself and from you for right now. And I'm going to say that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching this very bizarre episode. Hopefully you hung with me through the whole thing. But again, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Next time we will find out exactly, or we'll try to find out who lost this Psionic Institute pin and who is it on the crew that does not trust, who has some sort of suspicions towards Anselm and Hormoz's motivations and reasons for being here. We shall find out next time As I was about to say, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.